Welcome to my second video. This time around we're going to be looking at the jungle. We're going to go through the best junglers we should be playing, the junglers that we shouldn't be playing, and for each character I bring up, I will give a couple lines, a couple words to do with it. If it's good, if it's bad, if you should play it, if you should not. Remember, this is going to be the jungle episode, and there's still mid, ADC, and support to go. Make sure you stick around to see those. But let's just jump straight into it. We have our D tier, which is our trash that just shouldn't be played. We've got our, it's just bad. You shouldn't really pick it up. We got okay, where it can be played. It's not recommended though. We've got good. This is where you should start looking to play the characters that are listed in good, and then finally your S tier, being the best. So we're gonna jump in. We have Amumu. Amumu's in the low ranks, pretty good. But higher you get, and the more competent enemies you verse, the weaker he gets. But all round, he's pretty okay. Camille, trash. She got nerfed a while back. That completely just ruined her jungle clear. It's not healthy. Her ganks are not as strong as they were. There's just a lot better options out. Diana's borderline okay. So I would put her in okay. Her clear is slow. She doesn't have a lot of damage or a lot of sustain until she gets her jungle item. And then after that, she can really snowball. But the whole thing is you have to snowball or you're not as good as any of the other junglers, putting you really behind. So you have to snowball on her. Echo's S tier. Great ganks, great clears, low cooldowns, very strong river control. Just all round one of the better jungles. Elise, another S tier character. Great dives, great roams. Really strong early game. Heaps of lane pressure, heaps of turret dive pressure. All round an extremely good jungler. The higher up you get in the ranks, the more skilled you become, the more effective Elise will become. Evelyn is, I would say she's good. She has the potential to 1v9 carry. She's amazing at picking off people who aren't paying attention. She is absolutely incredible when the other team doesn't have any communication. So you'll see her a lot in solo queue, but she will tend to not be picked when you verse 5 stacks. Fiddlesticks, don't mind this old Fiddlesticks icon, but the new Fiddlesticks is actually really good. Like, really good. Between his upgraded kit with his upgraded W and his upgraded fear mechanic, he has strong ganks post 6, he has strong jungle presence, and he has not lane control but river control. His wards are the totems, and they grant vision and also trick enemies into fighting them, making him one of the best information gathering junglers while still being able to solo objectives and gank effectively. All round, just one of the better junglers. Gragas is okay. He's good into certain team comps and he synergizes well with a lot of characters. You'll see him for more team-oriented play. Graves is S tier. Great damage, great roams, consistent ganks, strong objective presence, and is a 1v9 machine. You can either hyper gank or you can power farm. No matter what you do, you're going to come out big on Graves. And with Graves, you can take the game by storm. You basically mold the whole game by around how you play him. Hecarim's actually okay right now. His ganks are strong, but he's a bit weak. Ivan's bad. I don't recommend playing him. Jarvan's good. Jarvan has great team synergy, great gank potential, and is a good tank in the later game. I would recommend playing Jarvan. I'd say Jax is quite bad right now in the jungle. He doesn't have the healthiest of clears, and his ganks aren't amazing, but it can still be done. It's just better to pick other things, because if you want to play a scaling jungler, you might as well pick Evelyn, Echo, or Graves. Karthus is good. In general though, as a rule of thumb, don't pick Karthus jungle if the other team has lots of AP characters that build Zhonya's, because that would just completely cancel your R and all your power in your kit. Kayn, S tier right now. Really good hyper ganker, good farming, great clears. His ganks are second to none. He's just outstanding, and his red form right now is really good. Kha'Zix he's just good. He's just good all around. Good damage, good counter jungle, good river control, good objective control. Kindred's bad. Don't play Kindred. Lee Sin's okay. If you're good at Lee Sin, you know, he jumps up. And if you're a one trick, or if you figured out how to play him really effectively, he's one of the best early game junglers you can pick up. However, he falls off super hard. And if you're not good at Lee Sin, he's practically useless, if not just bad. Master Yi's good. He's good at hyperscale. The problem is you have to get ahead early, or otherwise you won't come online quick enough. Wukong jungle, I haven't seen much of it, but it is strong. Just because Wukong right now is, as of 10.10, 10.9, it's just a bit busted. Nasus, don't play that. We haven't seen that in a long time. Nico, don't play that. Haven't seen that in a long time. With the recent Nidalee buff, Nidalee's actually good now. She's very strong, good invades, good counter jungles, good counter ganks, strong roaming potential by hopping over walls. Nocturne's a bit bad right now. Wouldn't recommend playing Nocturne. Nunu's okay. He's easy to pick up. He's a really good team player, but he gets outclassed by a lot of the other junglers. Olaf's good. He has everything you want in a jungler. Good roams, good skirmish fighting, good team fighting, great objective control, strong counter jungle. He's just great all round. The problem is he falls off at about 25-30 minutes and then gets outclassed by nearly all the other junglers. So you have to finish the game early if you pick Olaf. Pantheon's pretty bad. His clear isn't the best, but his ganks at level 6 are very strong. Rammus is okay. Rammus is good into all AD teams. His ganks are fairly good. Rek'Sai is borderline S tier. When we get to the end of this, like how we did in the previous video, we'll go back and we'll rearrange everybody, all the characters, to see how they actually fall, with the left being the best and the right being the worst. So Rek'Sai has strong ganks, strong roams, and has good teamfight and pick potential, very good objective control as well. Rengar's just a better Kha'Zix. He has more damage, better control, more consistent team fights, just all round, just I'd say better. Sejuani is an interesting character. She has a lot of team fight potential, very strong, very team orientated, except it comes down to how you play her. You're gonna have to give a lot of your jungle if you get invaded, because there's not much you can do in a fight. But if you're looking for a team orientated jungler, she's pretty good. Shaco's okay. If you're a Shaco, he falls into the same category as Lee Sin. Like, if you're great at Shaco, he's S, but if you're bad at Shaco, he's trash. So I'm just going to chuck him in, okay? AD Shyvana's bad, but AP Shyvana's okay/good. So she's going to have to fall into okay. Skarner's trash, don't play him. Sylas is also trash, I wouldn't recommend playing him. Talia's trash unless you're good at Talia and understand how she jungles, where she jumps to good. But just as a rule of thumb, not great. Keep her in trash. Trundle's good. And counters every tank. Counters your Sejuani, counters your Rammus, counters your Gragas. He has strong ganks, strong against tanks, great team fighter, and he's really good at soloing objectives. Twitch is trash right now. Udi is just bad. He's just bad. He will probably never see gameplay unless something drastically changes to him. Vi's okay, good ganks, great team fighting, but that's about it. Old Volibear was okay because he can just run straight in and has the sustain and the tank to be able to lock down opponents while also dealing a good amount of damage. However, new Volibear, it's too early to tell, so I'm going to base it off old Volibear and keep him in okay. Warwick's good. I'd recommend playing Warwick. He's easy to pick up, fun to play, great objective control. His team fighting and CC is also quite impressive. He does really well into Master Yi, as you have both the fear and the stun and the point, basically a point and click stun for the Master Yi. But all round, good jungler. Xin Zhao's, I'd say bad right now, as they nerfed the hyper ganking strategy. And finally, Zach. Zach's S tier. The best tank jungle you can play. His ganks are incredible. His team fight is top notch, and he has quite a lot of damage. He does really well into most matchups, if not all. I would highly recommend picking up Zach Jungle. So now we're going to go through and rearrange all of these characters and put them in order of the best being on the left in each category and the worst being on the right. Starting in trash, it will go Twitch being at number 1. If you're going to play someone in this category, look for Twitch. His hyper ganking and early gank potential is insane. Then go Silas. Silas has extremely good hyper carry, but has a very unhealthy clear until his jungle item. Then Skarner, he's just the weakest tank out of everyone. Talia, Camille, Nasus, Nico. In the bad tier, it will have to go Jax, then Ivan, Nocturne. It's debatable if Kindred or Pantheon's better than either, but we'll leave it how it is. And these two are both bottom of the tier trash characters that I wouldn't recommend playing, but Xin Zhao will probably get more attention. Okay, the OK tier, where you should start looking as a baseline of which characters you should be playing. Okay, so I went through and rearranged the OK section. We have Lee Sin, because if you're really good at Lee Sin, he's S tier. And if you're bad at Lee Sin, he's trash, but overall, he has the best early game out of the rest of these junglers. Nunu for his great ganks, and he's a good tank. AP Shyvana is quite strong into the late game. Vi has great ganks, great team fights. Amumu's got the same as Vi. Diana's just a weaker Shyvana at this stage in the jungle. Keep her to mid. Gragas has good team play. Hecarim's a bit weak right now. Rammus is good only into full AD teams. Shaco falls into the same category as Lee Sin, except Lee Sin's more consistent for skirmishes and objective control. And Old Volibear was a one trick running it into the enemy team for a flip. Okay, for the good tier. Between the good and the S tiers, you'll find a similarity where the great gankers and the hyperscalers will see more play and see a more consistent control of the game. For example, Rek'Sai and Olaf are borderline S tier, extremely strong junglers. However, Olaf falls off and Rek'Sai can be inconsistent, as you need to be good at hurt, to be able to play it. Jarvan's got great team synergy, good off tank. Evelyn's solo Q menace. Karthus, a slight weaker version of Evelyn if you can't play Evelyn, however super strong. Rengar, amazing counter jungling, great 1v1. Real decent team fighting to one-shot high priority targets. Warwick has great roaming, great map control, great objective control. Yi for the hyperscale. Wukong, as he's a strong team fighter and decent ganker. Kha'Zix for the same reasons, but a little worse than Rengar. Trundle, as he does really well into every tank. Nidalee, as she has great chip damage, good roams, and consistent ganks. Only if you can hit spears. And Sejuani because she's a decent tank. Finally, the S tier. What you're going to see is Zac being the number 1 jungler if you need a tank, if you need a team synergy character, or you need some CC. He is perfect in most team comps and in most scenarios. He's just very strong all around. I highly recommend playing him. Graves is one of the best, if not the best, hyperscale right now. Has amazing team fighting and insane control of the jungle. Kayn falls into a similar category as both Zac and Graves, having the scaling while also having insane ganks. I highly recommend you pick him up and at least try him out a few times. Echo for the same reason as Kayn, except scales a lot better, but his ganks are slightly weaker. Elise is a high elo menace, really good. I highly recommend picking her up as well. And finally, Fiddlesticks. He's very strong, has good control of the jungle, great team fighting, and with his new kit, he's got a very healthy clear and can always be in the right position where needed. So overall, this is the tier list for the jungle. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe as it helps out a lot. I'll also be releasing more videos like this, with bot lane and mids tier lists still needing to be made. Please look out for those videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.